I like what you said about the eretz in the initial vision, the creation myth. Yeah, I should include that in a video too. I'm not sure if the eretz there is the known world or the sacred land.
Mhm.
That vision was written by Moses itself, so it doesn't necessarily have the eretz context in the historical narrative,
Mhm.
And so people have to think about it and decide which way they see it there.
Mhm.
But there's other sections like that in Genesis. In one of the videos, I said the eretz, the land, just follow this pattern all the way through. And I kind of misspoke there. You follow that pattern in the historical narrative, and
Mhm.
in the creation myth, I'm not sure. In the Sethite genealogy, I don't know if Earth is even used in that part. Let me take a look.
Okay.
Well, no, it jumps from 416 to 64. So we're good on that one. And but then in the table of nations, though, has a couple uses of Earth. Let's see, 10:8.
And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord.
That probably means whole world there.
Gotcha.
So that would probably be referring to the Herodotus map. It would probably be the whole known world. I'll have to distinguish that in a video. There's a difference between the whole known world, and really you can see that's the circle of the earth that Isaiah would have referred to.
Mhm.
It's just the whole known world. There's times when that's alluded to, and Moses would have known not quite that much of an extent. That's more from Isaiah's day or the time of Herodotus, who was, I don't know, 200 years after Isaiah, something like that.
I see.
So Moses' understanding of how far the world was might not have been that extensive, but it would have been close. He would have known anything around the Mediterranean Sea,
Mhm.
See, the word eretz, it can mean the whole known world, or it can mean a land. It has that area of application. But
Yeah.
as far as Genesis 10:8, and Cush begat Nimrod, he began to be a mighty one in the earth. See, that would be the other way earth can be used. But this is in the Table of Nations, so I was basically trying to tell people if they start in Genesis 2:4 at that second creation account, like I show in that one diagram, anytime you see the eretz in the historical narrative, it means the land of Eden, because we're talking about the Edenic people, and so it's just the default land in view. It's their
Mhm.
land. It's their homeland.
It's the land, like capital T, the land.
Right. It's the land in God's eyes too, especially. It's a sacred region to him. And so it's the land. It would be the Holy Land. At Babel, it came to be known as Canaan. And that's why the priests named the boy Canaan, so that we can see, the land. All
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
And then God calls Abraham down into Canaan. Well, that's after Babel, that's what the land was known as.
Yeah.
Canaan. So it kind of gets into that thing we were discussing, how it's strange how, like, before Babel, there's these sort of cryptic names used for things, Eden and stuff like that. So I don't know, but yeah, the land though, the default land is that special land, God's special land. And then if it's not that, it says something else, like the land of Shinar.
Yeah.
Or the land of Nod. Those are the two that are, well, and then when the 4 rivers are described in Genesis 2, it refers to a couple other lands. Let me see here.
I got it pulled up here. Name of the first is the Pishon. It was one that flowed around the whole world of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. Delium and the onyx stone are there. The name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one that flowed around the whole land of Cush. So there's a specific land outside of Eden, I'm guessing.
Yeah, those are all outside Eden. So let me see.
So
in Genesis
2:10, I think.
Yeah, 2:10 through 14 describes that.
Yes.
And in Genesis 2:11, the whole land of Havilah, that's Eretz Havilah. Okay.
Okay.
And in Genesis 2:12, that land is good, that Eretz is good.
I see.
Genesis 2:13, the same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia, the whole Eretz Ethiopia. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can see the limited Eretz use there. It's referring to a region and not planet Earth, So, which is how it's read by so many people today, planet Earth.
Yeah.
So, and at times it means the whole world, but never does it mean planet Earth. The people that wrote this didn't know what a planet was.
Isn't that funny? It's like that's just another example. You got to really put yourself in that spot in history and recognize what was known and what was not known. It doesn't mean that, Moses was like an idiot or anything. He just didn't know, and that was not something that had to be communicated. We didn't really, in this narrative of the Edenic people, we didn't need to know. Not only did we not need to know that Earth is a planet, but also no one knew.
If God communicated to you or I today, he would speak to us on terms that we would understand. He's not going to talk to us with scientific knowledge that comes from 2,000 years from now, which would leave us in the dark. We wouldn't know what he's talking about. So I don't know why people look at it that way today. Why didn't Moses know that we were a spinning planet going around the sun? Of course he didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think people really, really struggle, and people really, really need to know that they need to look at things at that point in time, what was known. I just don't think people think about that.